Look out! Here come former SportsCenter anchor Bob Stevens, esteemed basketball coach Rich Basirico, and Hall of Fame sports writer Curry Kirkpatrick. And someone's going under the bus.
Hey, we'll start with Bob. Bob missed the memo. He was going to be off Monday. We'll start with me. We're here on a Thursday because I tried to sneak in a nap on Tuesday, not Monday, Tuesday, and didn't work out in my favor. I woke up after the show was supposed to go off, but I was sitting in for Bob, who we thought would be here on Thursday, but he misinterpreted the memo, so he's busy. So here I am, and we're doing the show as was intended on Tuesday. Justin Jarrett along with Curry Kirkpatrick and Rich Basirico on Under the Bus on the Loco Media Network, and brought to you by Hudson's Seafood House on the Docks, a favorite of all of ours and just about everybody who has visited Hilton Head Island. Fellas, first of all, how you been? It's been over a week since we saw you after the long hiatus, but I know Curry's back's acting up, but everybody holding up okay?
It seems like we got to talk about the first week of the NFL season. Seems like it's been going for 6 weeks already.
Right? Yeah. Well, we're into week 2 here in just a few minutes with the Packers and the Commies kicking off. But takeaways and under the buses from the NFL weekend. I mean, under the bus right away, you got to think about all the teams that I know Coach Basirico was losing his mind at some of these teams blowing late leads and just shooting themselves in the foot. But the Cowboys blew one, the Bears blew one, the Ravens blew one, the Browns blew one badly. So just
but you got to think the Ravens. You got to think the Curry. You got to think the Ravens is. I mean, like you just mentioned those teams, but Ravens are considered to be probably the top 2 or 3, the top 3 teams in the NFL going into the season, and they're up by 15 with 4 minutes to go, and they supposedly have a really good defense. That was a tough loss because in the playoffs, Buffalo, if is going to get the home field advantage, which is huge.
Not a fun place to play. And of course, we know Curry is a lifelong Buffalo Bills fan.
Yeah, I love this. I especially loved, and I got my first under the bus victim is Derrick Henry. When he fumbled the ball with the 7-point, the lead in the fourth quarter, I mean, everything turned around. Everything changed. And I was just sitting at home going, oh my God, he just fumbled the ball. We got a chance. But the games were so great, even though, there have been some giveaways and even coaching decisions in that game. Rich, what did you think of Harbaugh punting the ball away on 4th and 3 late? Yeah. And, his best players are his offensive players.
Right.
His defense was not stopping Buffalo all night. Correct. And yet he punted the ball away. I thought, that was a weird decision.
Yeah, well, especially when you have a guy like Henry. I know he fumbled the ball, but my goodness, he was, he had 170 yards rushing.
Yeah.
He's a bull. The man's a bull. You just say, Derek, we got 3 yards to get it. You go get it. And I guarantee he would have gotten 3 yards.
Especially after he fumbled the ball.
Right. Exactly. Especially, give me another shot. Give me another shot.
You think that guy's going to fumble again? Or you think he's going to find a way to get 4 yards?
The guy's a stud. He's a stud. 3 yards, they get so conservative down the stretch. They're willing to go for 2-point conversions and do this
play
and that.
Not to lose.
Well, you guys, the Ravens do this a lot, though. They give up a lot of fourth quarter leads. Everybody after the game
went to the Raiders last year early.
Yeah, everybody on TV went in the record books, and Harbaugh's given up like 16 fourth quarter leads or something in his career. It's something outrageous.
Defensive coach just goes
because
too
they
conservative.
Really do get, Rich. They really Justin. They really do get conservative.
Yeah. Right.
In the fourth.
Go. I mean, you got to go for it, and if you don't,
and the irony is
when you kick it away, you're saying I'm relying on my defense, right? You're punting. I'm going to rely on my defense. So relying on your defense just if you don't get the 3 yards.
Their defense was gassed. It was clear their defense was gassed. They had nothing left in the tank. They couldn't stop them. But that the irony is that when they really start having success is when they kind of let the personnel dictate, and Lamar came in and they started being of a different kind of team. And
Yeah.
then down the stretch, he goes back to his natural instincts and goes conservative. And I mean, you've just got two of the greatest offensive weapons of this generation in the NFL over there. If you can't get 3 yards, you deserve to lose, and
That's right.
they lost.
That's
But yeah, that one was devastating.
Maybe this happens every week, and just because it was the first week of the new season, but I noticed with all the stars in the quarterbacks and receivers and running back, these games always come down to the kickers. Who's got the best kicker? I mean, really, I wrote
Frustratingly so.
On the first week, Matt Prater, the Bills guy, they got him off the couch.
right.
He's been in the NFL for 18 years, but he wasn't in this week. And the Bills had to call him. He took a red eye or something, and he kicks a 32-yarder to win the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
from the West Coast, so he had to get over the jet lag. I heard that a lot of the Bills players thought he was a new coach when he arrived.
They asked him who he is, and then the Monday night game. I mean, the Vikings came back. The Bears turned into Caleb Wilson, turned into Caleb Williams. As a matter of fact, turned into Caleb Williams, and Steve McCarthy turned into who was the guy that played for Minneapolis last year? Was so good.
Oh, Darnold.
Yeah. I mean, but in the meantime, the Vikings got a key field goal at the end of the first half. They rushed onto the field and got, these people have this place set up. It's like a fire drill, and they got the guy's name is Real Riker. He kicked a 59-yarder to get the score to 10-6. That tied Prater's Soldier Field record, who was who played for Buffalo. And then there was the Kansas City San Diego game, the Friday night game in Brazil. I don't know if you saw this, but Kansas City ran this drill at the end of the half to get a guy, and he kicked a 59-yarder to get their score to 10-6. These guys, and then how about the of all time, everybody, the Steelers and the Jets, everybody talked about Aaron Rodgers and his 4 touchdowns. But he got the ball in position, and Chris Boswell, the Wizard of Boz, came in and kicked a 60-yarder to win the game. It's just on the other hand, how about the guy in Atlanta, young Noah Koo, he misses the game tying field goal at the end of about a 40-yarder, yanked it and fires it. It's young Noah Cuckoo. The Atlanta fans all went cuckoo. I mean, he fires his helmet down, and after the game, Raheem Morris said you got to make those kicks. Those are very makeable kicks. No kidding. How about tell that to the Cleveland kicker, some guy named Smith with no vowels in his game. He missed an extra point wide right, and then late in the game when it really counted, he missed a field goal wider right to lose the game for Cleveland. He's a former. I looked it up. He's a former Syracuse kicker. He won the Lou Groza Award. And then he went and played for the St. Louis Battlehawks.
Yeah, the Battlehawks.
In the USFL, who are owned by Dwayne Johnson. So, so Smith found himself between a rock and an NFL job, which I'm not sure he's going to have much longer if he misses these trips.
No. Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't let him go already. In the NFL,
I'd be surprised if
you
they
messed
haven't.
up, you're gone.
I figured he was probably, had the tag in his locker when he got back to the locker room. See the GM, you're not going to be here anymore, because that straight up cost them that game.
Speaking of guys that were gone, we haven't even mentioned. Go back to the Dallas game where the guy Jalen Carter on the champions. Ridiculous. Spits in Dak Prescott's face. What are you, in front of, it's the only game on, so it's in front of the entire America.
Hadn't even run a play from scrimmage yet.
Yeah. Roger Goodell had to be so embarrassed. I mean, here's his game in front of the entire America, and the guy spits in the guy's face.
Dak
Did
threw
you
him off
think?
sides. Did you see
Did
Dak
you think?
spit in his
Did
general
you think?
direction
Did
first?
you think Dak catfished him with that spit that he did?
I mean,
Might
he
have.
did it.
Might
I
have.
think Dak looked like he was trying to spit on him and just dribbled down his lip. And then
Yeah.
homeboy of
Yeah, it might
Jalen
have been
was
a whole.
like, "Oh, this is how you do it,"
Yeah.
and he
Yeah, it
got
might have
him.
been a whole. Might have been a whole
Um,
catfish deal.
But how
but
about
you
the
know, you
NFL?
can't react. Coach knows this. You tell
No,
your
for
kids all the
sure.
time. It's the
And,
guy who
and
But I'm.
reacts who gets the
come
flag.
on. And
But
plus,
I'm
how about
stunned.
the
You know, Rich,
NFL? The
Rich and I have
NFL.
talked about this. I'm stunned that he didn't get more.
Yeah,
Get
how do you not
suspended
get? I mean,
in
he
the
got
next game.
fined $57,000.
Yeah,
$57,000 for him is nothing. That's like
that's nothing. Yeah.
$570. You got to, and
Well,
then the NFL comes out and says, "Well, we suspended him one game," and they counted the game, the first
that
in the
he
game
that
that
he
night.
didn't
The
play.
officials threw him out. You got to
Yeah.
suspend him a game or two. I mean, the NFL should go under
Time
the bus for
served.
that.
Time
That's
served, Rich.
ridiculous. To spit
Well,
somebody's face.
I'm not sure it wasn't because they're playing. They're playing Kansas City in a rematch of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That he didn't.
Well,
He's not getting
They
thrown
they
out.
gave him time served.
Yeah.
well, that's
How about
that.
Lamar? Lamar not getting a suspension though after he put hands on a Bills fan after the game. I thought that might earn him the wrath, but maybe there was some evidence that the Bills fan said a magic word or something that
Well, the
is
Bills
worthy
fan
of.
was he was patting all those guys' heads. Remember, he patted somebody before
Okay, yeah, if
Lamar.
they touch you, you can touch them back. That's my
Found him.
philosophy. So maybe no harm,
Speaking
no
of
foul on Lamar there.
speaking of Kansas City, I got another under the bus character in the third play of the season.
Travis
Travis
Kelce.
Kelce, you might have heard of him. He got
Yeah.
engaged to
Not
Taylor
paying
Swift over the
attention.
season. He does a cross route and he smashes into Isaiah Worthy, their deep threat.
Xavier with it, yeah,
Puts
killed him.
puts him out of the game. I think Travis might
He's
have
out for
still
the
been
next 4
thinking about.
weeks.
Yeah, much. He's going to probably miss more than that. I
Well,
think
to be
Travis might have
fair,
been still thinking about Taylor in the garden with
yeah,
all
he
the
was
clothes on. He
imagining her in the
smashes
wedding
into
dress.
yeah, and he
Um,
smashes into the guy. I mean,
How many
did you
times
imagining
see
have you
his
that?
seen
There
wedding
that
were
dress.
happen in the NFL? All the games you guys watch, how many times have you seen that happen where
Not a
across
lot.
route two teammates hit each other?
there were
I
and
mean,
there were no Eagles anywhere near. I mean, there were no
no,
Eagles near them, right?
no, Worthy was going to be open,
Yeah,
but to be fair to Kelce, he threw himself under the bus on his podcast, and I quote, "I ran into one of my guys and offed him out of the game. I
yeah, he
literally
did.
took one of my players out." So he was feeling pretty upset about it. So I'll give him that credit. But yeah, we need. It's time to focus on the season, not on the wedding plans. Travis, we got work to do over here, and the division is tough. The Chargers, the Broncos, the Raiders are all coming for it. So, but and then I got to throw the Jets under the bus because for once, everyone in America was rooting for the Jets. And all they had to do was come through for us and beat Aaron Rodgers, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it.
Poor Aaron Rodgers.
Uh,
You guys are such haters. Hey, Rich, I got to ask you this. Now, we're really close to week 2, and the Giants are already trying to figure out what to do with Russell Wilson and the new kid.
and Brian
And
Daboll.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true
I mean,
too.
Rich, what are they going to do?
Well,
They
they've
go
already
in
come out and said Wilson's going to play this week. I think you got to give Wilson at least 3, maybe 4 games. Um,
seriously. That's 4 L's though. That's 4
Well,
L's.
but the Dart's not ready. They think he's ready because he did so well in preseason. You don't throw guys in a game like that and they're going to fail. Look at Williams with the Bears starting right away. He's the #1 overall pick. He's the greatest quarterback that's come out in the last 10 years. And he's struggling. He struggled last year. Of course, it's only been 1 game this year. But
Yeah, but
I'm not impressed with
look
him
at
at
the
all.
Commanders. But look at the Commanders quarterback.
Yeah.
Well,
He's an
it's
SEC
happened.
guy. He's an
It does
SEC
happen.
guy.
Yeah, but I
He's
think more times it does not happen. I don't think you throw Dart in there. I'm not saying you don't play him this year, but I think you wait a couple of games. But how about the Giants? So Daniel Jones, who
Yeah, I was
everybody's
gonna say, how
terrible,
about your boy
he
Danny
goes.
Dimes?
Well, you gave him some time to throw, right?
Yeah,
Barkley
offensive
rushes
line works
1,000
wonders.
yards, and then he goes to Philly, rushes for over 2,000 yards. Daniel Jones, they say he can't. He's not worth a dime, and now all of a sudden he's a hero in Indianapolis. He throws 3 touchdowns. They win 33-8.
Ran for a couple too.
Because they gave him time. It's all about the offensive line.
Protection is
When are
everything.
they going to figure that out? When are the Giants ever going to figure that out? They sign these guys like 3 offensive linemen in the offseason. They're all backups. We got this guy. He's a backup. We got this guy. He's a backup. And then they drafted 1 offensive lineman in the 5th round who supposedly is going to be a good player. But you got to bring more guys in. I mean, just look at the stats of it. Look at Barkley. Look at Daniel Jones. 2 great examples. So Giants,
Ian O'Connor wrote a great piece for The Athletic about Russell Wilson tonight, and it said something about it was in praise of Wilson, what a great career he's had before the last few years, and how everybody should praise him on his way out the Giants' door. It was, but I agree. He's had he was in the Hall of Fame until 4 years ago when he started his, and he, it's kind of
threw that interception in the Super Bowl. Everything seemed like to go downhill right after that, right? You could have won 2 in a row.
Pete Carroll's fault.
That wasn't even his fault. I mean, it
wasn't. He never should have been throwing that pass.
Oh no, not at all. They should be running the ball, but still, his career went that way. I mean, I'm not a fan of Russell Wilson, but right now, I think he's got to be a starter for at least he's starting this Sunday for sure, and at least another game or so. They play at Dallas, which they never do well there. So we'll see what happens. I want to throw somebody to the bus. How about Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, I had him on my list next.
What is going on with that guy?
I mean, there's the old saying, when someone shows you who they are, believe them, or tells you who they are, believe them. I believe Tyreek Hill is who he has shown himself to be at this stage. And I will throw the Chiefs all the way into the bus if they follow through and make a move for him.
Are they talking about bringing him back?
There's a lot of rumors out there, but that was before today's headline that in the divorce proceedings, his wife has accused him of 8 instances of domestic violence, and that is
and that's
consistent with his history.
That's more catches than he had last year, isn't it?
It's more than he had targets last week. I know he was over on the sideline.
He was complaining again on the sidelines.
Already.
like a little baby, like he's sitting there with his
Miami's terrible. Miami's terrible.
They are.
Either that or Danny Dimes is the real deal.
The coach is out of there. I'm predicting.
Without a doubt. See, the thing about me with the coach at Miami, and I know this is crazy to say this because they say he knows his X's and O's really well, but he looks so young. I mean, he looks like a high school student. What guy can get in the middle of grown men and rally them when you're looking at a kid that looks like my son's friend from high school?
Well, he's very charming in his press conferences, but you're right. He speak, and Hard Knocks did them last year, didn't they, Miami? And he talks to the whole room, and you're right. It's like he's a little high school kid addressing the class.
Exactly.
It's not a coach player situation.
Well, strangely enough,
I know you don't hire people on their appearance. But I think you got to get a guy that comes in there like a Bill Parcells or Vince Lombardi, somebody who's got this.
Who breathes fire.
Absolutely. He comes in there and goes, this guy's going to get me motivated to go out and play. Come on.
Yeah, he looks like he's ready to go to the club or something. But strangely enough, one of his childhood best friends is one of my favorite comedians, Dan Soder. So, they grew up. They'd be playing Madden and McDaniel would be running circles around Soder at Madden, and Soder would be cracking him up, and they'd joke about like maybe someday you'll be a football coach. Yeah, maybe you'll be a comedian. And now they're an NFL coach and a comedian. But I like McDaniel, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's working.
No, it's not. It's not.
The Rose. What is it?
I don't think he makes it through the season.
Yeah, no, shines off that
that's
one.
What I said. That's what I said. I think he's gone.
Yeah, I think so too. Unless they turn something around real quick. But all right. Well, we'll see. We'll save college football for after the break, and we'll talk baseball, including the star of the internet last week, Philly's Karen. After the break on Under the Bus, presented by Hudson's Seafood House on the Docks. Back with you on Under the Bus on the Loco Media Network, presented by Hudson's Seafood House on the docks. Justin Jarrett, along with Curry Kirkpatrick and Rich Basirico. And time to talk a little college football, fellas. We got another week of college football underway. Wake Forest and North Carolina State, two teams that Curry has no love for. It's been a
for
rocky
Wake
start.
Forest. His daughter went to Wake Forest. He loves Wake
Both
Forest.
both daughters, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you got a little love for them, but none during football season, right? I mean, not
Not really. No.
maybe against the Wolfpack, but an inauspicious start for your boy Bill Belichick in Chapel Bill. What other takeaways do we have from college football this past weekend? I'll tell you one. I'm going to throw under the bus. All these teams scoring 70 plus.
Yeah.
If you can put 70 on somebody, they don't need to be on your schedule. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, how about with Oregon against Oklahoma State? The coach from Oklahoma State came out and said about, well, he gets all his players because he has $40 million to spend on his players. He took it to him big time.
Well, that's our boy Mike Gundy, who's under the bus every year. Every month we do this.
He's a clown.
I mean, he's Dumb and Dumber. This guy. He was 0-9 in the conference last year, and then he comes out. He opens up against Oregon and criticizes Dan Lanning for paying his players too much. And then after the game, Lanning said, "Well, Mike Gundy's probably over there telling his players, 'I told you so.'"
Well, how about this?
I mean,
Oklahoma State fans have thrown Gundy under the bus. They've started a GoFundMe to try to raise the $7 million to buy him out of his contract.
Well, he had to take a pay cut after last year to keep his job. And now, of course, he's the guy who infamously in the press conference yelled at a press person, "I'm 40. You want to don't criticize my players. I'm 40.
I'm a man.
Now I'm 58. Now he's 58 now. He says, "I'm 58." His next one's going to be, "I'm going."
Yeah, I'm going, right. That will be his next one for sure.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't their whole advantage when they had it going good that T. Boone Pickens had dropped $1 bajillion on their football program? Like,
for sure.
Who are we talking about? They're acting like they're the little sisters of the poor, and I don't think that's the case. So no, I've had beef with that guy since I'm 40 when I was on the Big 12 beat.
I love that.
He was so dismissive in every Big 12 press conference and the conference calls. Just a jerk.
He closed the season. He closed the season last year, losing to Colorado 52-0. So he's gone 52-0 and now 69-3. Back to back.
Nice. Yeah, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
I got another coach. I'm firing under is this guy Fran Brown, the coach at Syracuse in his second year. He's the guy that doesn't shower after losses. He claims he doesn't shower after losses. Well, he won the game last week. He survived Connecticut. And he was so upset. He had his team, as the crowd is filing out, he has his entire team run sprints up and down the field before the crowd is even. What a jerk. He said, I wanted to, his remark was, "I wanted to celebrate with the people, but I was just so pissed." Really?
You ever do that, Rich? You ever send him to run sprints?
He got the W. He got the W.
Yeah, but, he's still making him.
Well, that Connecticut team is kind of up and coming. You got Jim Mora coaching that team, and but did you ever do that, Rich? I've never been a big fan of the post game punishment running thing, but did you ever have to pull that out?
I did it one time. After a game. I was upset with our team, and I come out and all the girlfriends are waiting. And I just said, you know what?
Wags.
So I told the girls, you need to go home. They looked at me like, why? I said, because we're going to practice right now. So cleared the gym and we practiced. It wasn't just run. I mean, we didn't run just suicides or sprints.
Yeah.
We actually practiced.
The great college one on that was Abe Lemons at Oklahoma City when he played in the Garden. Remember, he played in the Garden. He got blown out. He was getting blown out at halftime. And he made his team scrimmage shirts and skins at halftime.
Right. Exactly. Lane Lemons had
Legendary.
some great lines and did some great
Oh
things like
yeah.
that.
Oh, for sure.
He had a guy, tell you a quick story. You probably heard of this before, but he had a player. They were playing on the road, and the official came over and said, "Coach, you get to shoot a technical foul shot before the game, because they had a player on the other team dunk at the time when you couldn't dunk in pre-warm-ups." And Abe said, "I don't want to take a foul shot." He goes, "Well, Coach, your team earned a opportunity to take a foul shot because the opposing team had a player dunk on the rim." And he goes, I don't want. Well, the official said, you have to take the foul shot. So he told his player to shoot it backwards, and of course he missed it, and they lost by 1 point.
No, really.
I don't
I did a
understand the
story.
rationale for refusing the foul shot.
I did a story on him one time, and half the stuff he told me I couldn't use because it was so politically. And of course, he's in Oklahoma, so he recruited a lot of Indians. He had a lot of Indian players, or half Indian, full Indian. And he told me one time, "I can't talk to these guys. I can't speak their language. I got to smoke, and so I can blow smoke rings so they know what I'm saying." They know what I'm saying.
Oh, Abe.
And he always had a cigar in his mouth, didn't he, Curry?
Yeah,
He always
yeah,
had a cigar in his mouth.
yeah.
He was hilarious. He really was
Hey,
hilarious.
back to the highlight game of the week, which to me was Oklahoma, Michigan, and
Yeah.
like you say, Rich, these guys, TV is blowing up these young quarterbacks so
Yeah.
much all the time. This guy Bryce Underwood for Michigan, he was
Yeah.
the big
Number
deal, the
Supposedly
golden
the
boy.
best player coming out of high school. Yeah.
Yeah, and in fact, TV used him as a headline to like 3 breaks early in the game, and they didn't even talk about the Mateer,
Yeah.
the transfer from Washington State, plays from Oklahoma. It was
Right.
all about Underwood, and he was awful. He got
Yeah.
outplayed, totally outplayed, and he was
Yeah.
terrible. He was worse than Arch Manning. I mean, his
Yes.
baby was worse than Arch Manning.
Right.
And you get tired of that, as you say. Just I don't know. Just
I suppose they probably prepare some of that stuff before the
oh
game,
yeah, they did.
like
They did.
much
Oh, I
like you
gotta admit,
script plays. So you can't control that the guy's not going to perform well, I guess. But
but Herb Street's blowing up this guy like he's the
oh
best
yeah,
quarterback who ever lived.
well
I got
everybody's
another. Herb Street's got to go under this week because I got another thing in the Michigan
got beef with
Oklahoma
his
game.
dog.
Can't. Oh yeah, I'm sick of that too. I'm sick of his dog. But no, cameras caught Underwood, and his running back is another star player named Justice Haynes, who's a transfer. Cameras caught them going off the field, arguing and pointing at each other, and they were like the players had to separate them. And they came back out. That was at a break. They went to commercial. They came back out, and I said, "Well, what are we going to do? What are they going to say about this? I mean, here's their 2-star players bitching and moaning and getting after each other on your sideline." And Herb Street came out, protective of all football at all times. That they're just in a little argument,
Yeah, they're just
I'm not saying
passionate.
I'm
They're
saying an
just
argument.
competitors.
Here's their star quarterback and their star running back going after each other, about to punch each other. Where was Holly Rowe when we need her? I mean,
Yeah.
she's out looking for some third string quarterback whose father's in prison and whose mother's doing drugs and whose sisters are all have polio. Some sob story. I mean, come on.
How
You
about
got a real
a sad story is how about Clemson? I mean, they're down 17-6 to Troy at halftime. Now they did come back and win, but come on. They were a
Dabo should have made them
25-point
run
favorite.
sprints up and down the hill after.
Jeez. That was embarrassing. It really was. After losing
Well,
like they did the first game and then lose. I mean, that didn't lose to Troy, but that's the type of team you got to put away
well,
early by the
as a
first
Mizzou
half.
fan, I can't ever judge anyone for losing to Troy. We did that once on
Oh, you
national
did?
television,
hey,
so
Okay.
yeah, it happens.
Justin, didn't the officials admit to some error in the Mizzou Kansas game? Didn't the official come out
Well,
after the game and
they
say,
should, if they didn't admit to it, they should, because it was pretty clear. Yeah, there was a play that benefited Mizzou. Didn't really end up impacting the final score, I don't
"Oh, it
think, or the
didn't"?
final
Oh, it didn't.
outcome. But there was a
Well, I know
play
they.
where the ball was snapped over the Kansas quarterback's head, and in the scramble for it, a Mizzou player batted it toward the end
Yeah,
zone.
yeah.
He got away with it because there were so many people around it. There was so much traffic. It looked like one of those situations where somebody's trying to scoop it up and they kick it and knock it forward. But yeah, on the replay, you could see him clearly swipe and bat it. And the coach calling for it. But apparently that's can't be reviewed.
The crew got
can't be
suspended for the
reviewed.
next week.
Really?
Yeah.
Apparently they said on the broadcast that can't be reviewed. So I don't know. Who knows anymore?
How do they determine which things can be reviewed and which cannot? I mean,
there seems to be no rhyme or reason to it.
I know. That's
Like
ridiculous.
if you can see it on video, it should be able to be overturned, right?
Exactly.
Like I don't understand. I mean, I guess I have some understanding of like why you might not be able to review like holding or something like that. But even then, I mean, in the NBA now, we're reviewing fouls
Right.
to make sure
right.
it was really a foul.
Yeah.
And so
That's
why
ludicrous.
not?
That's
I mean,
ludicrous.
it's hard to watch the NBA when they do that.
How about your boy Florida, Billy Napier? He gets upset by South Florida, and he says graceful as always. He said we contributed to their success. Well, duh, yeah, I guess you did because one of your players, the defensive player, Brandon Bett, he spit right in the face of the Florida game. Remember? Of Florida.
You think you would have learned something from the week before with Carter, right? How would you not see that happen? And I would address that with your players, right? After that happened in the NFL game, as a college coach, you know, they get so pumped and so intense. You need to address that, guys. Look what happened last week with his all-pro player, Carter. Look what he did prior to the game. You might be in that same situation where you feel like you might want to do that. That cannot happen. And if it does happen,
that spinning was even worse. It was right in his face,
Yeah.
right in front of the official. They got a 15-yard penalty, which led to the drive that kicked the chip shot field goal that won the game. It was key play. And Napier, so Florida now is at LSU, at Miami, Texas at home, and at Texas A&M. And I think Napier might be at the unemployment line after that.
Yeah.
But how about what's the discipline he told? He said, well, he's sorry for what he did. Well, of course he is. And,
he apologized.
He apologized, and he's going to write a letter to okay, so that letter's going to make everything. How about this? How about suspend him for a game or two? At least
how about do a little community service? You know,
do something. Community service, do something. But I think he should be suspended without a doubt.
Is he going to play this week?
To my understanding, he is.
Really?
Probably.
That's ridiculous.
Tyreek Hill's probably going to play this week, right?
Well,
nothing matters. We have no morality left.
No, he wants to be traded. Someone needs to tell him, no one wants you. No one's going to trade for a head case like you.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kansas City gets him, like Jason said. I wouldn't be at all surprised.
No, I wouldn't.
Last year we brought back Kareem Hunt, who got ran out of town after the same stuff.
If Worthy's out for several weeks, you know, they might
Miami should get rid of Hill because he's a cancer right now. He really is, and he needs to do something, a splash to do something to get his team going. And that I guarantee you, the whole team would be happy that he left.
Look, the Chiefs won that run their rings without him, not with him. So I don't want him back. Anything else on college football? If not, I've got one thing. The gambling issue doesn't seem to be going away. I saw there's another
more
probe now.
More basketball players.
Was this basketball? I thought it was.
Yeah,
I saw it as a football
I think
headline.
Was it free players? I believe.
No, but
I saw one today that said 13 players from 6 schools.
Yeah, 6 more schools, Rich.
Wow.
Including a game, Temple in Arizona versus Arizona State. So they're getting big schools. It's not surprising. I mean, you know, all these players. These players are betting on the 3 players that were announced before were they Fresno State guys.
Oh yeah.
Right.
They were betting on their teammates, you know, doing well or not doing well.
Okay.
That's what they were betting on. I mean, come on. Just getting there off.
They're betting parlays on their pals. Which I mean, you can't be doing that. You got inside information, man.
Right.
The gambling, I mean, I don't understand how we separate it anymore. Like it's so pervasive in the presentation of the sport. It's like, you're watching the NFL on ESPN presented by DraftKings. Everything, it's just wound up into everything. They're giving us odds, in-game
Yeah,
odds on the screen.
and,
And
and
huge,
every newspaper across the country, there are odds, right? It's
Sure.
supposed to be
and huge,
illegal, but they're
huge,
allowing.
huge celebrities are doing these
Hmm.
commercials too. I mean, we get
And the kids,
LeBron, your
I
boy
know,
LeBron's in that commercial with the comedian for
yeah,
draft. What I don't know if it's Draft King or whatever it is, but
whatever it is.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy, and they're marketing it to kids, and the kids, even though you have to be 18 or whatever, the kids just lie about their age on there,
Right.
and they get in, and they're
Sure.
gambling real money, and
Yeah.
it's crazy to me. But we came up in a time when that was taboo. I mean, we didn't talk about that except for Brent Musburger. he would
Jimmy
sneak
the
it in
Greek.
there every now and then.
Jimmy the
Jimmy the
Greek.
Greek. But people got fired for that too, and
That's
and
right.
now it's just completely intertwined with
Well,
sports. So
ESPN has a segment where they have people on there telling you about who you
yeah,
should bet on. So
yeah.
it's illegal, but they're gonna have people on screen telling you this is the team you should go with.
Well, it's not just a
Well, it's
segment; it's a whole
legal. It's
show.
not
They have whole
illegal
shows.
through these sports books, though. In
Well,
certain
certain
states, it
states,
is in
it's
this state,
yeah,
but in certain states, it's not. And ESPN runs its own sports book. The,
yeah,
the sports journalism company runs its own sports book. What a world!
that's crazy.
But all right, fellas. What about baseball? I know
We
Rich,
got to
your
go
your
to another
Yankees
segment.
are
We're going to do another
are
segment,
tanking.
or we,
We did have one more segment in the can. We can put baseball in that segment if you'd like.
yeah.
We'll take a quick break and we'll come
Okay.
back and talk baseball and U.S. Open. And my boy Pablo Torre has another scoop when we come back under the
He
bus.
always does. He always
You're
does.
poor. You're poor.
All right, back for our final segment here on Under the Bus, presented by Hudson's Seafood House on the Docks on the Loco Media Network. Justin Jarrett with Curry Kirkpatrick and Rich Basirico. And guys, the saying is that you never want to be the star of the internet, the main character on the internet. And an unfortunate woman has been the main character on the internet for a few days now, or was. Philly's Karen, they're calling her. I don't know if you guys saw this. The woman who claims that the ball was stolen from her, and she marched down to the dad and demanded the ball back and
Yeah, the
got all
dad
up in
had
his
gotten the ball
face.
for his kid. The dad had gotten the
Yeah,
ball for his
and
kid and put it in the
look,
kid's glove. And it was a real happy
and
story. What was Justin? What was her point? What was her argument? That she got it first? That she
she says
caught the
that he
ball
took it
first?
from her, but I mean,
Well,
it's pretty
people
clear on the
scramble
video
for a
that the
ball.
the ball is in the row in front of her.
Right.
She's leaning over trying to get it. He comes down the same row, picks it up. It's a
Yeah,
free
that's what I
ball.
said.
That's
Yeah,
right. When
that's
that
it.
ball's on there, if everybody's scrambling for the ball,
Yeah,
you're fighting over each other and grab it.
Yeah,
And he gives it to his son, it was his birthday,
yeah.
yeah.
and she wants
And
the ball back.
the whole
But
family was there, and she comes over, puts her finger in the guy's face, and reprimands him. But if
And he goes, oh.
he
yeah,
should have
I'll
bit
tell
the
you,
finger.
if I was the father, there's no way I'm giving that ball to her.
Not
I'm
a
gonna tell her,
chance.
you got to get out of here.
Not a chance. No, I would spin my
But his
ground.
son ended up pretty good. Brought him back after the game, I guess, in the
Tons of
locker
stuff,
room,
tons
and
of
Yeah,
stuff. And
he got a
what's his
loaded him
name?
signed
up.
bat.
What's his name? My boy used to be a Cardinal and a
Harrison Bader,
Yankee.
Yeah, he used
Harrison
to be a
Master
Bader.
Yankee
Bader.
too. He used to be a
He gave him a
Yankee.
bat. He gave him a
Yeah.
bat. Yeah, that's nice.
I call him Master. But
It's not
yeah,
nice.
he
It's not
hooked the
nice.
kid up. There's also some speculation I saw that because it's like the Zapruder film. There's like so many angles of this thing out there on the internet because everybody was filming. I guess this lady was just being a whole pain in the butt the whole night, and everybody thought she was obnoxious. And when they saw her marching over there, they started filming. But there is
Did,
some speculation that the older sister may have done a ball swap on her. and that they may have given her a ball that they brought with them and kept the actual ball, which I really hope is true, because that would be just fantastic karma.
Yeah.
But I do think
I wouldn't want her to get a ball. I wouldn't want her to get any kind of ball.
well, at least a fake ball, like just a regular baseball, not an MLB baseball, would be a pretty funny bait and switch. Because there was that kid who pulled that
Did she get
a few
interviewed
years
after
ago.
the game? Did she get interviewed after the game for Internet Stories?
I don't think so.
I don't think
'Cause
so,
I didn't-
but
I
people
didn't
tracked
know.
her down and doxed her, and I think she got fired from her job, which is
Oh,
maybe
She
not.
did?
She got
I
fired from
think
her
so.
job?
Yeah, I don't know if that's necessary, but it is poetic.
Wow. Wow.
And says a lot about the society we live in. Thank God there weren't cameras on us when we were younger men, right? We would have been fired from a lot of jobs.
Well, she took over the internet from that couple who got caught kissing in the Coldplay concert.
Oh yeah,
And,
that was a good
both
one.
of them. I mean, both of them are out of their jobs, right?
Oh
I
yeah,
think she
they're
got
just
divorced.
ruined.
She's just getting divorced. I mean, camera picks up a lot.
Be careful out there, people. You are
Yeah.
being watched.
That's for
So yeah,
sure.
Philly's Karen under the bus. She's been run over all week long. Your Yankees, their hopes are in danger of
Oh,
falling under the
they're so
bus.
up and down. It's ridiculous. You know, they'll hit nine home runs in a game, and then they can't get a hit.
And
You
then
know,
give up
it's
9 in an inning the next night.
right. Volpe, you know, they keep on playing him. Listen to these stats. In his last 71 games, ready? His batting average is 168, which is last in the major leagues. His OBP, on base percentage, is .215, the worst in baseball.
Oof.
His WRC, which is weighted runs created, he's last. And
Who's
then
this? Your boy Stanton?
no,
Volpe,
Oh, Volpe.
yeah. And then he's last in
baby Gita.
batting average on balls in play. He's last in that, and they keep playing him. He's played the most games on any Yankee. He's got the worst batting average. He has 19 errors. 19
Yeah, he's
errors.
not. That's the thing, is he's not particularly good at short, right?
No, and he won the Golden Glove his first year as a rookie. But you know, Boone continues to play him. And I don't understand, because analytics is huge with the Yankees. I mean, they go by analytics. When you do analytics on his stats, why should he be ever in the lineup? They use analytics only when they want to use it. Here's the perfect time to use it, and they won't use it. And they continue. He pitches, starters are pitching really well. 5 innings, 6 innings most, and it goes to bullpen. Why can't a starter go 7, 8, maybe even 9 innings? The Dodgers this week had
Yeah.
2 no-hitters going into the 9th inning.
Ninth
So
inning. Well, they lost one of the games.
they lost one of them, correct?
Yeah.
But the guys went to 9 innings. If those 2 guys were on the Yankees, they wouldn't have made it past the 6th inning.
Go to the
Well,
shower, boys.
Rich, do you think can Yankees and Red Sox make the playoffs in Toronto as
Yes.
well? Three
Yes.
teams.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, that
Yeah.
might
Are
happen.
in position to
right?
do
Yeah.
so right now.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Yankees are winning tonight. Yankees are winning tonight. Judge, I think, I know he has at least 1, if not 2 home runs tonight. Stanton has a home run. So yeah, I think they both. I don't think they'll catch Toronto. Toronto's hot. They won a game
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
I don't
But they
think they're
both can
letting
make
up.
it. You make the playoffs. The problem is the wild card. It's a little bit tougher to advance.
In Toronto,
Right.
Toronto's beating Houston too, aren't they? I mean, they're playing tougher teams
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, New York's got to go to Boston tomorrow.
This weekend,
Right.
big series
Right.
this weekend.
That's a huge series. Huge.
Yeah.
Big
So
series. If
we'll
either
see what
team
happens.
sweeps, it could really knock the
That's
other
right.
team
That's exactly
into a
right.
mess, so you got to at least get one out of that series. You can't get swept. Now we're coming down to it. We just got, what, 16, 18 games left for most teams, I
Yeah,
think.
it's probably about
We're
18
getting,
games, maybe 16 games, I think it is.
yeah, something like
So
that. So getting down to it, should be good stuff down the stretch. The Dodgers seem to be coming back to life at the
starting to
right
pull
time.
away.
The
Well, the
pitching
Padres
staff's
lost
coming
2
together.
games to Cincinnati, and
Yeah.
they played home. They need to win that series, and they don't. Cincinnati, and let's see, the Giants are 2 games behind the Mets for the wild card.
The
The Mets
Giants
were
are
totally in
hot right
control.
now.
Well, they lost today, but the Giants and the Reds are 2 games behind. So that wild card spot is up for grabs.
Dodgers are up by what, 2 now on Padres?
At least
Three.
2, yeah. Oh,
Three.
3.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. They're going to pull away, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, and I'm scared of them in the playoffs. My Cubs had a terrible trip where they couldn't handle San Francisco and Washington. They only got
Yeah.
1 out of 6,
Yeah.
but
That
seem to be
hurts.
back on track now against the
That
Braves.
hurts.
So 5.5 back in the Brew Crew. We'll see if they can chase them down.
So but wild card, the Cubbies are all right,
Yeah,
right?
they're in position for the top wild card. They would host
Okay.
San Diego as of now, which would be a great series.
Is that
So it was San Diego that first made me cry about the Cubs back in '84. So
What's that? Oh, they
is
beat them?
yeah. Is first round like 3 games? The first
yeah,
round.
3 games, all at the higher seed this year. So no travel, no play.
So Cubs San Diego would be
in Chicago as of now. No, as of right now, it'd be Chicago. They have the higher record, the better record right now. Yeah.
Okay.
So could be good. Curry, anybody to throw under the bus from Flushing Meadows?
Well, yeah. Right away. Our president of the United States. Let's talk about him. He goes
fair.
He shows up at Flushing Meadows final. He must have thought that the UFC had a brawl going on. I think he didn't know where he was. But they get there. He was a guest of Rolex, of the Rolex people. Had a box, but the time, the Rolex people might have forgot their watches because he showed up. A half hour. He delayed the final. The men's final was delayed a whole hour because of him. An hour and a half after they're playing, crowds were still getting in. An hour and a half into the final because the security just blocks everything.
Yeah,
And I can tell you from personal experience. I was at the Georgia-Alabama national championship game in Atlanta a few years ago during Trump's first term, and he showed up for that one. And we were out in the sleet and the rain waiting 2 hours while his security screwed up all the gates. And it was awful. I'd never been so cold in my life. We were way back. We got there like 2 hours before the game. We just barely got there for the opening kickoff because of Trump. So
throw him under the bus, Curry. Throw him under the bus for sure.
Well, he should keep to his UFC matches, his cage matches.
Well, he's bringing those to the White House lawn, right?
On 4th of July, right?
Yeah, what a world! What a world!
But I've got another thing for the U.S. Open. Our girl Anasimova, our American girl, got to the final, lost to Sabalenka, but in the semis, she had, I think, was the biggest turnaround ever in majors. She lost the Wimbledon final, love and love, to Swiatek. What's her Swiatek? Love and love. She plays Swiatek again in the semis and beats her 4-3 to get to the final. It was unbelievable. I mean, that's just terrific. I also noted Swiatek, who I really like, but she had an interesting exchange in the press conference afterward. A press guy, I'll give you this exchange. He asked her, "Do you feel like you need a mental break?" And Swiatek said, "Why would you say that?" And the press guy goes, "Well, you've played a lot of tournaments in a row." And she said, "Well, talk to the people who make the schedule for that." She said, "Do you need a mental break?" and he said, "Sorry." She said, "You look like you need a mental break." And the press guy goes, "I do, yeah." And Swiatek says, "Well, then what are you doing here?" And he says,
bro.
And he says, "I'm trying to get to the end of the tournament." And Swiatek says, "Well, good luck," and walks out. I mean, God, she's the press bitch of all time, this girl. I love her.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I do need a mental break. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, don't you love it when they flip it on us in the press conference?
Yeah, that's great.
Like, that isn't our job. All right, good stuff there. Well, I think I got to throw Steve Ballmer under the bus because I don't know if you've kept up
Yeah.
with my guys reporting Pablo Torre, but he went deep on this story, and you should check out his episode on Pablo Torre Finds Out. But it sure seems like Steve Ballmer, the seventh wealthiest man in the world, I believe, owner of the Clippers, it sure seems like he was in cahoots with a phony green financing firm that sprouted up, to essentially funnel an extra $28 million to Kawhi Leonard above and beyond what he could pay him in the salary cap. And
For not doing anything, for not
for
working at
not
anything.
doing anything. I
Not doing
mean, not
anything.
even so much as sending a tweet. And
Did,
I listened to
did you
Mark
notice that?
Cuban try to justify how this could happen, and I'm just not buying it. I mean, I feel like there is serious smoke here. It's
Did you
crazy.
notice in the stories that Toronto, um, when Kawhi was dealing with Toronto, his agent asked Toronto for the same thing. He wanted a job where we would
Sweeteners.
pay him millions of dollars without him doing a thing, and they rejected that. But he still signed with them, of course, and he won the championship. But it sounds like that's what Kawhi wants in his contract.
Sounds
Extra.
like his uncle Dennis is the one who was trying to negotiate it too. I don't know if you followed the saga, but
Oh,
Uncle
that's right.
Dennis plays
That's right.
prominently.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
trying to act like his agent. They had to change the rules in the NBA because Uncle Dennis was going around trying to
Yeah.
leverage extra benefits as Kawhi's uncle. So crazy story. I just had to, I also know you love it when I call Pablo my boy. But
Yeah.
but
You're desperate to get on his podcast. It's obvious.
no, I don't think I have that kind of cachet, but I am a big fan because there's not a lot of people still doing old school journalism, and digging that deep
Well,
on anything. And
investigative stuff. That's what we
yeah,
need. That's it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I respect the hell out of him for finding a way to do that in this current
Well,
media
of course,
landscape.
one of his prime targets is Bill Belichick and his girlfriend. And
Yeah, his child bride.
did you see that they tried to get a patent on some of Bill's comments this week, and the patent office rejected all of them because the Patriots already had the patent on it, on Belichick.
Well,
Like, do your job.
she tried
Like,
to patent all kinds of stuff,
yeah,
including
well, they want to
the
try to patent do
Trail
your
of
job.
Salty Tears.
Yeah.
That's in
Well,
bad taste. The Trail
well,
of Salty Tears.
I mean, I'm so torn because he's at my alma mater in North Carolina, and he, of course, embarrasses himself the first week. And week two, I mean, they win the game, but then it comes out that he's barred. Did you see this?
Right.
He's barred all the Patriot scouts from North
Yeah.
Carolina practices because he claims he's barred from New England facilities.
Right.
Well, the New England, Vrabel, the New England coach, said that's not true.
Right.
He was at Tom Brady celebration this summer, and for all he knows, he's welcome at the Patriots. You know,
Well, what would that
Belichick's
have to
thing.
do? What would one
And
have to do with the other anyway?
right.
Well,
He needs to
Belichick's
allow
thing with
those
Bob
scouts in to
Kraft.
scout his players for his players' benefit.
Well,
Belichick
first of all,
still has the
who do they want from North Carolina?
Right.
Yeah,
That's number one.
that's
Like,
right. That's
what
right.
players
That's right.
would they want?
Well,
The
and
way they
not
play.
only that, what players are going to come to Carolina when they're saying no, you won't be scouted by New England?
Right.
Why would you come there? I mean,
That makes no
it's
sense.
just, I don't know. It's really
He's a
embarrassing.
petty
It's
man.
so
He's a petty
yeah.
man.
Well, it's all he and Kraft have this petty thing going still,
Yeah.
and he's
But
trying to
Kraft's
get
going to
back at
make a
Kraft.
statue of him. Kraft's going to have a statue for him in front of the
That's what
stadium.
he said. That's what he says.
Yeah, let's see what that statue looks like. See the face on it before we give him too
because the
much credit. Might be a setup.
documentary that Kraft was charge of, that's what had him all. It depicted Belichick as a bad guy, the whole thing, and that's what Belichick is still upset about, I think.
Well, that's what happens when we let people produce their own documentaries
Yeah,
about
really.
their lives. Hello, Michael Jordan, Last Dance. But all right, fellas. Well, any last victims? Or are we good to go?
I was gonna actually throw Belichick under the bus for what, not letting the scouts in. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like a little kid, I can't
I
come
think
to
he's
New
going to live
England
under the bus this year.
the whole season without a
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
He's well on his way
sorry,
to
Curry, about Belichick.
permanent residence under the bus. All right. Well, we'll plan to be back on Tuesday night with Bob back at the helm, but always a pleasure to sit in with you guys and talk sports. And we appreciate Hudson Seafood House on the docks for making it possible. You guys will be back next Tuesday. I'll be back in a half an hour on the Loco Sports Lowdown. We got the Loco Pigskin Preview Edition tonight. Another weekend of high school football kicking off tomorrow night. So we'll be previewing all the games. But thanks again, guys. Thanks to our sponsor, Hudson Seafood House on the docks. Thanks to you for showing up to Listener Watch. We'll see you next time on Under the Bus.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.